But just as I was walking away, threatening legal repercussions, he said something in passing that disturbed me. Fine, I'm going to end myself anyway.
Well, good luck with that. So, right. First, I want to say thank you for clicking on the video and coming with me on this. Pause on that. Right. Because, pause. But thank you for just coming in and, just watching this video with me. Hopefully you got your snacks. I've had bowls of popcorn before in past videos, but never like this. And it says movie theater butter family size. So I mean I can just eat this in one sitting. I don't know why that says like I eat a lot, so I'll probably crush this. That's not my intentions. Like sometimes I would just be eating and not realizing how much I ate until after the fact. If you can relate to that, like if you can relate eating a lot, but you have like a high metabolism, so whatever you eat doesn't really fill you up. If you can relate to that, just let me know. But yeah, man, hopefully you got your snacks. Obviously, I got mines. There's a lot of butter on this plastic. Okay. Yo, how do you... I'm really trying. Because I don't want to just like tear it off and the popcorn goes motherfucking everywhere. I'll be pissed. I'm still going to eat it regardless because I love food, but I'm just saying. I don't want the popcorn going everywhere. What the hell? I'm sorry. I know y'all came for the reaction. I didn't know it was going to be this hard. Pause. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh my god. Movie theater popcorn is the best. Oh my god. But yeah, man. Woo! Alright, let's get it. Sup?
YouTube doesn't tell you when my new videos are out, unless you click that notification button and you're subscribed. So be sure to do that. And please, click the like button, guys, to keep this channel growing. Thank you.
You want some?
One UK doctor who worked the night shift heard quite a chilling tale of something that happened there. Apparently, a doctor was seen talking to no one on a CCTV camera, only to later admit that he was giving directions to a woman that wasn't there.
Oh, no.
The night shift can be scary.
Cluck! Oh! Wow. Night. It's a love-hate relationship with popcorn with me. Shit be in my teeth and whatnot. Shifts. I just want to say that first and foremost. Cluck all night shifts. Especially... Are you fucking serious? Especially third shift. Graveyard shift. You know, what does SpongeBob say? Was it Bikini Bottom? No, it was something that he said. Cause he went deep into the ocean, and it was dark as hell. Some weird looking creatures, and it was talking like this: "Hey, can you pass it? Popcorn over here, please." Ew, that's a lot of spit. What did he say? What did they call that place? Spun? No. I don't know. It's gonna come to me. Let me know what. I'm sorry.
Watching Darkness Prevails, the best channel to share your creepy stories with the world, because this world is a strange one. If you work the night shift, that basically means you get to be in danger, while everyone else is in bed safe from the things that lurk at night.
Right?
But what does lurk at night? Well, these allegedly true scary stories will show you. If you want to be in a future video, you can send me your stories at darknessprevails.org/submit. Now, get ready, because I'm about to give you even more reasons why you should probably call in tonight.
Some good ass popcorn.
Number 1. Ghosts in the CCTV blind spots. Submitted by Rorschach. I am a concierge for a residential building, and it's basically fancy flats for high-earning people. The concierges do a mixture of work on a rota-time basis from morning, evenings, and nights.
Okay.
We mainly just sit in the reception room, and being the first main form of contact, we write down and log any problems the tenants may have and send it to the right department.
Right.
We also have to monitor the car park, as well as keys, fobs, and cards, and check who goes in or out of the building. Looking at the CCTV footage is also part of the job, and those of you who have worked alongside CCTV cameras, you know there are always blind spots. I mean, the camera can only capture a part of the room, and there will always be some angle where the camera cannot quite catch or reach. Some of the concierges who work on the night rota...
So those cameras, with all due respect, those cameras are clucking up. That's what you're telling me. Because we got 360 cameras. Just saying. But no. You want to do that. You want to do that 90-degree angle. You want to do that 180 angle. You want to do that 32 angle. You want to do that 15-degree angle. Like, no. We have 360-degree angles. So, those cameras, and whoever picked those cameras, right, are clucking up. Just saying. Just saying. Those cameras, even though those are inanimate objects, they're clucking up.
that they will sleep anywhere in the building where there is a blind spot for the CCTV camera.
Okay.
On the weekend night shifts, you get another concierge to help work alongside you, and on the weekdays you're alone in the nights. On the morning and evening shifts, you're mainly alone, but there is an hour crossover when one concierge has an hour left on his or her shift, and when another concierge has just started. These crossovers have been purposely put in at certain points of the day when the building is most busy. I'm the newest one out of all the concierges, and I am on my second month. The managers are actually nice, and I don't feel scared asking for help when I need it. On my first night alone, it did give me the creeps at first, because the place is a large building. It's actually 3 buildings which are all interlinked. It does get cold and we have heaters, but even though it's on full blast, the temperature seems to always drop. I often heard things moving around the building, but I kept logically trying to pinpoint what it was. And I don't know, but I felt this great uneasiness all around me. I had never done night shifts before, and I was struggling at first. Eventually, I fell asleep for about an hour, but there was no one around to catch me.
No one that you can see. No one that you can see. When you said to yourself, you feeling something. So, there's red flags all around you. You don't sense it. But, you know something there. But you're still there. Okay.
It was around that time that I heard this faint voice telling me to wake up.
Oh, no.
I shot up so fast.
No.
I began looking around, and I spotted right in the corner of my reception area what appeared to be a floating apparition that was just barely visible.
Fuck.
What I did see was that it was smiling at me. like it didn't care about its existence being so terrifying to me. Heck, maybe that even made it happy. I instantly sobered up. That was replaced with fear and shock. And then I saw the apparition had a child in its arms.
Oh my God.
I tried looking at the CCTV camera, and it was in the blind spot where I couldn't see it. So if it was visible on camera, I wouldn't have been able to record it either. Meaning when I told anyone about this, they would think I was crazy. The temperature began to drop, and the entity continued to smile, that sinister smile. Just before the thing disappeared, just fading away from existence, I thought I could see ice forming on the small baby in its arms. After that, I didn't even try to go to sleep again. When I went home that night, I jumped straight into bed, feeling safe enough to finish my sleep. But I was awoken by my phone ringing. It was my manager. She told me that one of the tenants' babies had passed away from hypothermia that night, and she asked me if I saw anything unusual or know anything about this. I told her no, and there was obviously nothing they could find on CCTV. A baby passing away in an apartment building from hypothermia. That's bizarre.
You tripping. You mother clucking tripping. She asked me, I'm in bed. She asked me on the phone or text talking about, no, she called me, woke me up saying, hey, did you see anything last night? And I would have been like, he said, did I see anything? Hell to the motherfucking yes. I did see. I saw two apparitions. Right. I got some chills. Right. I saw some shadows. And I saw a whole lot of shit. So, I highly suggest you find a replacement ASAP because I'm never coming back to this job again. Cluck you with all due respect. Cluck that job with all due respect. And cluck those apparitions. Sorry. You should have told me about this earlier. Because if I would have known about it, I would have never even filled out the application. Heart? Sweetheart. Just saying. Talking about that. Why would you say no? Sometimes you just gotta sell the story. Sometimes you have to convince that person that you just saw what you just saw. You talking about some no, like, so now you're gonna go back to the job probably, and you're gonna see it all over again.
Then, on a different night shift, I found something else in the club room.
See?
That room was made so tenants can go somewhere to socialize and even have parties. I first heard lots of noises coming from the club room, but it just ended up being a homeless man. But as I was walking away, I saw it. Another apparition standing in one of the blind spots in the cameras.
See what I'm saying?
This time directly below a camera
See?
in the corner of the room. It seemed frozen and still, not staring at me, but watching the homeless man intently. Later on that week, when I read this in a newspaper, it gave me pause, and I wondered if it was the same homeless man. Because near our complex, they found a homeless man who had passed away in the night. It appeared to be from a mugging. These spirits seem to know what they're doing, and they purposely appear in areas where the CCTV cameras don't catch them. And when you consider that the cameras see the main parts of each room, it's a creepy realization, thinking that in every dark spot in a room you walk into, something might be watching. And better yet, you can't prove it to anyone, because the CCTV cameras don't see anything. Because of this, I'm still very much struggling to get used to the night shifts I work on. And every time I fall asleep or go to the office room to have some shut-eye, I always strangely end up in another part of the building.
Wow.
And creepy enough, I later noticed that the parts of the building I wake up in, they're blind spots from the CCTV cameras. I still work here, and I'm still part of the night shift. But now I'm determined to stay awake no matter what, and to look for a better, safer job.
You better hurry the hell up.
Number 2. The Field Stalker.
Hurry.
Submitted by James.
Hurry up and find a new job before you get clucked up. For real.
These events took place almost 20 years ago in Indiana, where I grew up. My father lived about an hour outside of Indianapolis in the middle of nowhere, and I would visit him over the weekends as a child. It was a nice, quiet town, and he lived on a large piece of land. Vast rolling fields stretched as far as my vision carried, with deep, lively forests encompassing them on nearly every side. Some of my best memories were spent hunting and working outside with my old man, breathing in the crisp country air that sat undisturbed by the hustle and bustle of the city. It would have been a perfect place if it had not been for the thing that inhabited the land. I still remember the first time I saw it. I was sick as a dog, and my father yelled out to me, "Put those chickens up, boy," before shutting the door and making his way to his job. Every night he had me work around the house and land, making sure everything was kept tidy and in place. It took me a couple of hours, but I usually enjoyed it, considered it my night shift, even though I was a kid. He had a few dozen chickens that he would use for his eggs, and the occasional family dinner. They were always a lot of fun to chase around and play with as a child. Well, about an hour after he left, I was able to force myself out of bed, my sinuses congested and head throbbing. I made my way out the back door. Night was beginning to fall as I rounded up all my little feathery friends into the coop, before closing and barring the door, checking their water and food. I glanced to my right at the enormous fields that stretched out of my sight, and I saw a storm roaring way off in the distance. With such a huge area providing an open sky, any storm within dozens of miles could be seen as flashes of lightning rang silent and illuminated the entire property with each flicker. I sat there, mesmerized by the beauty of the storm, before something caught my eye. It first appeared in a flash of lightning, a good distance away, but a few seconds later, it was much, much closer, and I made out a grotesque shape tearing through the fields parallel to me. It wore skin so pale that it glowed a faint blue in the moonlight, and its limbs were jagged, disproportionate to its body. One leg seemed longer than the other, and its arms were clenched against its body like a praying mantis. Long, wispy fingers hung down as it strode on through the blackness.
What the hell?
I sat there in place, as fear gripped me tightly.
Hey. Yeah, I know you got a job to do, getting them chickens and whatnot. But I highly suggest you hurry the hell up and get them chickens. Or, you say, cluck them chickens, and you haul ass to the house. And close all doors, close all windows, and close all vents. And make sure the bitches are locked. I don't know why you still standing out in the field, motionless, and homie in the distance is coming at you head on. So something tells me that you don't have Adidas on, not even fucking slides. And the homie in the distance has Adidas on. Like, something not adding up. It's not. So get out of your frozen position and hurry up and haul ass to the house. I don't know why you frozen. I don't know. If it was me personally, I would have said cluck them chickens. Cluck them. Sorry. I love animals, but yo, I'm not. Nope. Nah, I'm not about to risk my life over some chickens, over some chickens, over some chickens, chickens, chickens. Chickens?
This thing was gaining distance so fast. With each sporadic interval of lightning, it seemed to gain hundreds of feet.
Damn.
It wasn't until a particularly long stretch of lightning strikes that I got a better look at it. It ran in a way that still pops up in my nightmares. Its body trembled and convulsed as it glided across the grass. Its longer leg made apparent as its sprint resembled more of a limp. But a limp that had to be speeding by at over 30, maybe 40 miles per hour. The one thing that stuck out more than any of this was the absolute silence. It was running by at an inhuman speed as its joints bent and twisted begrudgingly, but it never made one sound.
Wow, that's scary.
Each step was completely devoid of any noise, and though it looked like its body hurt to move, it was as if it wasn't even there. With each flash of lightning, it gained an impossible amount of ground, and before I knew it, it was gone. It dissolved into the faraway tree line without any disturbance. I ran back inside, crying to my dad's girlfriend, and was probably babbling incoherently as she tried to calm me down. I spent the rest of my night on the couch in fear, watching sitcoms with my future stepmother. For the next several months, what was normally a trip that I looked forward to was one that stewed anxiety in my gut, as I dreaded possibly seeing that thing again in the night. But as I came and went dozens of times more, I hadn't encountered it, and I was beginning to wonder if it was just a strange trick of light, as I was extremely sick at the time of seeing it. Fast forward a few years, and I was just entering high school. My father's house was a great place to have gatherings with friends as we had bonfires, cookouts, football games, you name it. I had all but forgotten my experience, and my dad's...
Forgotten my ass. Something like that. The way you just described that creature in the distance. You don't forget something like that. You don't. You just don't. And you still think your father's house is a great place for a gathering after you seen that shit? You should have ran into the house, right? Acknowledged the girlfriend, your dad's girlfriend, you should have been like, came in the house, hey, yo, Ashley, there's something outside, right? Scary as hell. And it's headed straight towards us. So, we're going to sit right here in front of the window, and we just going to stare. We're not going to sleep. We're not doing nothing. We're just going to sit here and just look straight out that window. Just saying. If you got to use the bathroom, pee on yourself. If you got to poop, you better transform that poop into farts. That's what I do. Wow, this is so weird, but that's what I do when I'm in a public area or someplace where it's not appropriate for me to no. I'm sorry, no. When I have to poop and I know I really can't at that moment because of the place I'm at, then I'll either transform my poops into farts. So if I can't fart, then I transform my farts into burps. There's the science behind it. If I know I can't poop or fart because I'm in a certain area or a certain position at the moment. Like, say I'm in a meeting, right, and I have to take a mad shit. And I know I can't. Then I'll transform my poop into farts, which I'm not going to fart. I can't really fart because I'm at the meeting. So the farts, I'll transform those into burps. And then when I have to burp, I'll just be like, just saying. I really can't explain how I do that, but I just do. So, this popcorn almost halfway gone. And it's supposed to be a family size. And I'm one person. Wow.
Was once again a destination that I spent the entire week thinking about. Me and several friends, Wayne, Tim, Steve, and Matt, had planned a time to go out there. After waiting impatiently for a few weeks, the day finally came to go out, and I was excited to spend time with my friends and Dad. We packed up all the essentials and made the trip without a hiccup. Once we arrived, we proceeded to do all the reckless things a bunch of partially supervised 14-year-olds would do. And after wearing ourselves out a bit, we started up a campfire and chatted for a little while as the remainder of the day quickly passed.
I feel like they're gonna see it again.
We talked about the typical things, sports, girls, etc. As the sun was beginning to set, we were putting out the fire. Tim and Matt were feeding grass and fruits to an old horse
They gonna see it.
someone was paying my father to have set up in an enclosed area on his property.
They gonna see it.
It was a very old horse named Jack, and it pretty much just stood around all day as it was old and broken down. It would barely be able to shuffle up to us to accept our offerings of food. "Finish up playing with the horse, ladies," Wayne shouted at them as he shoveled dirt and ash under the fire with his boot. "It's time to get started." Wayne was talking about playing flashlight tag. He enjoyed it a lot more than all of us, and sometimes took it a little bit too seriously, but regardless, it was a good time. As we gathered up in the center of the yard, playing rock, paper, scissors to determine who would go first, I couldn't help but remember my time here, working each and every night to tend to the animals and land. And as my mind drifted back to that, it began to drift back to the thing I saw that night.
There it is.
But I quickly shook my head, shaking off the thought. Anyway, back to our game. The rules go, the first person who got caught would be the next one to be it. Pretty basic stuff. Tim ended up being the first person it. We watched him turn around and place his head in his arms as he leaned against a tree.
That's that, man. That's where it is. That's where it starts. You know, that's like, that's where it starts. You know, you think about it, shrug it off. It's nothing. You try to forget about it. And then once you become distracted, the motherfucking creature's 2 feet from your face. 2 feet from you. And because you shrugged it off, because you thought it was nothing, you and your friends are going to get clocked up. When in reality, you shrug nothing off. You don't assume nothing. You go with your gut instinct, and that's when you run. That's it. The second you start doubting your gut, that's when the motherfucker is 2 feet from you, and you can't say nothing. So that I feel like the creature is going to be right the cluck there, so close that you won't even have time to run.
He began to count to 60. Once his back was facing us, we all scattered aimlessly into the dark.
Oh, damn.
Racing around the huge yard, I found a large pile of old logs and firewood that I thought was a great hiding place. I was always the guy who tried to find the best hiding spot and stay put, rather than periodically moving spots as the Seeker made their patrols.
You about to get clucked.
I knew this area like the back of my hand, after living here for years and working here outside at night for years. So if anything, I figured I had a huge advantage.
Yeah, alright.
58, 59, 60. I heard Tim yell out as I saw the bright glow of the flashlight pierce into the night. I sat there, smiling, still as a statue, as Tim slowly paced around the yard, waving his flashlight in every direction. Peeking through the logs, I had to stop myself from chuckling as I thought there was no way I'd ever be found. I huddled up as tightly as I could, and covered up any skin with all the loose shreds of clothing that hung off of me. Just as I was settled in, I nearly had a heart attack as the horse abruptly cried out and began stomping around, only 10 feet behind me. The horse was normally so slow and quiet that I hadn't even noticed it standing in my vicinity before it lashed out. It surprised me so bad that I jumped and caused a few of the logs surrounding me to go tumbling down. I saw the beam of light from Tim's hand swing over to me quickly as he briskly walked towards my spot. I was crouched down under a bunch of wood, so I wasn't really in any place to make a run for it, so I just waited to be caught. "Gotcha, man," I heard Tim yell out, triumphantly. "Yeah, I didn't think anyone would get me here," I said back. He retorted with some juvenile trash talk, and I made my way to the back porch, glancing back at the horse who was trotting around the electric fence nervously. I sat on the porch and sarcastically shouted, "You guys got this," as well as, "Woo! Go guys, keep it up," as I waited, hoping I might get them to laugh and get...
Feel my poof.
Let's talk.
Are you gonna edit this out?
Probably not.
Why you sitting with your underwear on?
Because, I have no door. You just walk the hell in.
So you're gonna edit this out now? Because you're talking about your undies.
No.
What?
I'll edit it out if I showed my undies.
No one look at my tatted up shirt. I want to feel it again. I just pulled your. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Yes, nice. Okay, bye.
Okay. No. No.
Okay, thanks.
No.
Your weekly contribution to my rent.
You don't come up short.
You gonna come up missing?
No.
Exactly. Like what I just threw is missing. It's you.
No. You don't come up $2 short. That's with interest.
Crazy.
What?
I'm a machine. Are you gonna come to the gym with us tomorrow?
No. I have a photo shoot to do. No.
Hey, front of money.
So my cousin just stole 20. That's 25. 30. 31 cents. She gonna come up $2 short. All right.
So I could get on with the next round. I heard the excited screams of those guys as they were caught, and the sounds of some attempting to move through the dark as subtly as possible, while giggling to themselves. They were the worst at this, yet I'd got caught first, thanks to the horse. All this time, though, I couldn't help but look out at the horse, frequently, to see that it was moving around erratically still, whinnying and snorting, something I'd never seen it do before.
The horse know what's up.
My round being it went relatively quickly, as I knew the area well, and my friends even better. Matt was the first person I found, and he was lying face down on top of a red car while wearing all black.
Yo, he must not know his friend. Well, okay, he does probably know his friends, but I can guarantee you, all of my friends know if something pop off and I'm with you, I'll be the first one out. You best believe that, right? If I sense any red flags, I'd be the first one out. Something pop off, I'd be the first one out. Just saying. First one out. Because if I was your friend, right, if I was in that position and you said, you know, because I know my friends well, or something like that, well, I would have said, bitch, you must not know me. Because I'll leave your ass in a heartbeat. Let something pop off. Let something weird happen. Let something creepy happen. Let something paranormal happen. And I'd be the first one out. Alright. Alright. You don't believe me. Okay. Cool. Alright. Let something pop off. Let something happen. Let something happen tonight. And I guarantee you I'll be the first one out. Cluck. I love y'all, but cluck all of you.
He thought he could blend in. Hey, dummy, I said as I shined the light over his body. His face slowly turned towards me as if to make sure I was actually talking to him. We laughed as he made his way to the porch. The rest of my round went quickly, and we sat around talking for a little bit before starting up again. Matt kind of started to complain that he didn't want to be it, and he started to pout. He could be a bit of a wimp sometimes, after the rest of us pressured him into it. A few minutes into the next round, I again nearly jumped out of my skin as the horse let out another outburst. Shortly after I heard Matt's voice ringing out, "Guys, can we stop, please? Seriously, I'm not kidding. Please get out here." I heard Steve yell back, "Yeah, right." And Wayne yelled back, "Don't be such a wuss, Matt." But Matt replied, "Guys, I'm serious. Please, I'm not kidding. Please just come out." After a few moments, I decided to come out, seeing that maybe he was a little spooked, being so far out from his comfort zone in the middle of the night. "What's up, dude?" I asked as I approached him. "I saw something. I don't know what, but I don't know. I just saw something weird," he explained to me as Wayne and Steve emerged as well. "What's up, man? Are you just trying to get out of being it?" Steve said. "Screw you." Matt spat back at him. All right, Wayne mediated and calmed the two down. "Guys, I saw something. It looked kind of like a person, but it was pale, and it didn't have any hair or clothes," Matt said as he started to gain his composure again. I felt my heart sink as I remembered that thing I saw running through the fields years before. "What are you talking about, dude?" Wayne asked, seeming to get a little bit nervous. It was right then that Steve spoke out. "Wait a minute, where's Tim?" We all looked in each direction to make a quick head count, and we all went into a small panic. "Tim!"
Tim gone.
I called out of instinct and began quickly walking around the yard as the rest followed suit. That old horse was all but sprinting around the perimeter of its enclosure as we frantically called out to our friend. "Come on, Tim!" We had split up and were running around at this point, trying to find Tim. "Where the heck is he?" I heard Wayne yell out in frustration as the minutes piled on. "What's happening?" I said to myself as I made my way around an old, worn-down shed towards the back of the property. Just then I heard the familiar voice of Tim. "Guys, I'm over here."
You sure that's him?
A huge wave of relief swept over me when I heard him.
You sure?
Yet, when I looked up, I didn't see Tim. I didn't see him anywhere. "Tim, where are you?"
See?
There was silence for about 10 seconds before the same phrase repeated itself. "Guys, I'm over here."
It's a setup.
The voice seemed to come from every direction at once as I turned around over and over again in desperation. "Tim!" I yelled out one more time before I looked towards the tree line and something caught my eye maybe 50 feet away. My heart seemed to stop. A pale, disgusting figure stood out in the open just in front of the tree line. Its arms clenched tightly against its chest as its twisted body appeared to be barely able to keep standing. As I sat there frozen, I got a look at its face, and I saw that it had no eyes, no ears or nose.
Wow.
No hair anywhere, as it glowed that same faint shade of pale white blue in the moonlight. All that it showed was a huge mouth, bearing razor-sharp teeth that seemed to bend in a distorted smile.
Wow.
It opened its mouth. "Guys, I'm over here."
Oh my God!
Sounded out in Tim's voice. I fell down to the ground, horrified. It stood there facing me for what felt like hours before it turned and sprinted into the woods in a flash, like before, making absolutely no sound. Moments after breaking through the tree line, an ear-splitting shriek erupted into the night that sounded as if it had blood and tar sloshing around in its lungs. This snapped me out of my state, and I sprinted back to the house. The horse had all but lost its mind at that point. I soon found the others waiting by the porch, some on their phones while Wayne was talking to my dad about what happened. A search party was formed and persisted for over a week. These stories usually end with no one being harmed. But they never found Tim. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but I'm certain that that thing took him away from us. I often stay up at night, guiltily wondering about his final thoughts, and going over all the ways we could have saved him or prevented this. I've never returned there as my father sold the property and moved on after the incident. To this day, I wonder if it was that thing that made that horrible shriek, or if it was my friend Tim living his last moments.
Tim was
Number 3. The drone keeps following me. Submitted by Ulashai.
Tim was in cahoots the whole
I
time.
work in a residential building as one of the clerks, which basically means I'm mainly behind the reception desk, where I log down problems the tenants may have with their flats, along with handing out and looking after the keys. We also do some maintenance tasks from time to time, like reading electric and water meters and bypassing the water meters if need be. We also have to keep an eye out on security cameras and react appropriately to anything that's out of the ordinary. For a couple of weeks now, a lot of the tenants have been complaining about a drone flying over their flat, and
So, I mean, what does that mean, though? Like, watch the cameras and act accordingly if something seems off or something seems weird. What does that mean? Like, are you supposed to tell, you know, your supervisor, your boss, manager, like, you know, you're supposed to call 911? Like, what does that mean? Because if I watch the cameras and I see like 2 motherfucking ghosts headed towards me, I'm not saying shit, and I'm just running. I might get fired. I might be suspended. You know, I might get let go, which I hate that term. Just say you fired me, right? I'm not about to act calmly talking about, hey, Joe, yeah, you busy? Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I can give you 2 minutes. Alright, 2 minutes is up. So I just seen 2 ghosts that headed right towards me. I'm leaving. So just letting you know that, yeah, that wasn't a question. I'm doing that. So yeah, that's that. See you later. It's been nice working with you all of 3 hours. So, you know, I know it's my first job, but yes. Awesome. You know, I know this is my first day on the job, but it's gonna be my last day on the job too. So, yeah, I just saw 2 ghosts. I'm not clucking with it. I'm not. Sorry. I don't know why you're acting so calm right now too. So, okay. Something tells me you're in cahoots. Sorry. Deuces.
Obviously, this was really bad, because some stranger was spying and following people around from his drone. And that just sounds creepy, stalking from a distance. Last week, I got a call by one of the tenants about a drone flying over his flat, and I managed to go outside and spotted it for myself. I saw it flying to where its owner had lived. There were some houses next to the residential flat, and I followed the drone to its owner's place and knocked on the door and told him not to do it again. But just as I was walking away, threatening legal repercussions, he said something in passing that disturbed me. Fine, I'm going to end myself anyway.
Well, good luck with that.
Confused and a bit creeped out even more, I replied, just don't do it again, and walked away. I mean, how do you reply or react to something like that? I was walking back to the residential building when I saw the drone following me, annoyed and not wanting to return to his building. I got back to work, even though the drone was just outside the building, and would often come to the windows to peep inside. After I put down the reception phone, I could hear the drone inside the reception room floating around. It must have gotten in when someone opened the door. I called the police and told the police everything. They arrived and they were quite quick. They saw the drone almost immediately when I let them into the building. The drone flew over to the door and the police opened it, letting it out. Then they followed it down to the house where the drone eventually just decided to rest on the roof of the place. Once there, none of us could see it anymore. The police then broke down the drone owner's door. I was behind them, out of the way and continuing to watch the scene unfold.
Why are you with them?
Once they got inside, I saw a shocked look on their expressions. The drone owner was lying there and had apparently put a hole in his head.
Damn.
When the police went on top of the roof, they were surprised to find that the drone was not there, even though we had just seen it. This was really strange. When did he decide to end it all? And how did we not hear it? I mean, we were just outside his house when the drone landed, so if he was still flying it and ended it just now, we would have heard it. The house was cleared, and the man's passing made it to the papers, but no one said anything about the drone part of the story. What's stranger is, maybe a week or two later, I began to get more reports of the drone following and watching people. I remember thinking after hearing that, there's no way. This must be a different person. But upon seeing the drone, it was the same drone as before. This was bizarre and creepy. Is it possible that the spirit of a stalker has possessed his drone? Or is this something else entirely? The story is easily one of the weirdest I've ever experienced.
Oh, shit. Yo, that's deep as hell.
Number 4. Walmart McDonald's Haunting.
Wow.
Submitted by DHB.
That's one hell of a title. Can you imagine somebody possessing?
I've been working at a built-in McDonald's in a Walmart since July of 2008. I started on the bottom rung and eventually worked my way into management. Over the years, there have been stories floating around since the place opened in the spring of 2005 that this particular location was built on top of a graveyard.
Yo, am I missing something? Or did he just say that there's a McDonald's built into Walmart? Yo, oh my God. If that's the case, if you work there, be prepared of getting clucked up 24/7. Seeing some clucked up shit 24/7. Two out of like top 5, top 10 of the creepiest places on earth. Or no, not the creepiest place on like, or the two I want to say 2 of the top 5 or top 10 of the places that attract creepy, weird people into one building. Who the hell thought about that? If that's the case, if there's a McDonald's built into a Walmart, who is a motherfucker that thought about that? And I bet you the person that thought about putting these two motherfucking shits together was a creepy ass motherfucker. Cause ain't no non-creepy regular person is gonna think about that. Like, no. Who thinks about putting two places, two things, two buildings, two businesses that attract weird, creepy people and putting it into one building? There has to be a creepy person that thinks about this. What the hell, yo? But yeah, if you work at a Walmart and a McDonald's is built into it, you better keep a Bible on you at all times and Adidas on you at all times. Because something is bound to happen. That's crazy. Because something always happens. Something weird and scary, creepy, always happens either at a Walmart or McDonald's. But you put them two bitches together? Woo! Creepy, weird shit 24/7. Woo! I can't. Woo! Oh my god, yo.
Was once a graveyard, but to me that sounded ridiculous, and I never believed it. The first 6 or so years I worked there were owned and operated by McDonald's operations division, McOpco, which we called it. As such, we were required to have a third shift during the Christmas season from Thanksgiving until after New Year's. Most of these overnight shifts were very slow with few orders, so all that was required for the majority of the shifts was just a manager and a crew person. I was asked to do an overnight shift, and it was just the manager and myself for the night. It was about 1:30 a.m. when I was at the grill, and the manager was wiping down the pile of trays that had been left from the previous shift, when we both heard a commotion in the stockroom. I remember it pretty clearly. It sounded like yelling in a different language that none of us could understand. It certainly wasn't any languages that we were familiar with. Over time, after many of these experiences, we simply referred to it as the ghost.
Wow.
Over the years, there have been other incidents, and each one seems to creep us out even further, making our joke about the ghost something sinister. It isn't uncommon for our employees to see a dark shadow cross along the back of the store, moving towards the stockroom at night, as you're facing the grill from the front counter. Adding to the mystery are random and unexplained noises that people hear during the night shift while doing inventory. Some of it even sounds like music, while other people report ghostly screams and cries.
What the fuck?
There are also other events that we can't explain. For example, it isn't unusual for one of the registers to ring up an order and immediately serve it off on both the monitor in the back and to the front counter. To make things even creepier is that when the drawers are counted at the end of the shift, the drawer balance is exact, even though it should be short whatever the amount is for the particular.
So are you telling me that the registers at McDonald's who are ringing up themselves and placing orders themselves? Like, is that what you fucking telling me? So you telling me that the ghosts that just be lurking around is ringing up orders? That's what I'm getting. The ghost is just, you know what? The ghost is probably like, you know what? I've done enough scares today. I've done enough creepy shit. I worked up an appetite. You know, I'm gonna order me a Big Mac. Yeah, I want a meal. Right, large fry. Supersize that bill. Large drink. And I want an apple pie. They still got apple pies at McDonald's? I don't know. I really don't know. And then let me go ahead and, I know it's third shift, but let me go ahead and get a McGriddle. My shit's is popping. Go and get a hash brown. You know what? I almost scared a kid half to death. Let me go ahead and treat myself. Let me go ahead and get 2 apple pies. Let me go and get that. How much is that? Oh, let me take some money out the safe. Out to one of the registers. Alright, cool. They probably won't notice. Go. Alright, I'll pay for it later. Whatever. Fuck it. Ugh. Y'all gotta learn to put 2 and 2 together. Y'all gotta learn to put shit to be like put like the pieces of the puzzle together. Like y'all got, oh my goodness, yo. It's only 2 reasons why a register would run on its own and place the order on its own. Either 1, the shit smart as hell. 2, no, it's really 3. 2, the technical difficulties or whatever. Or 3, there's a ghost literally at the register placing his or her order.
Item that was rung up. We have objects that have seemingly fallen from the racks we use for our holding trays and other small wares without reason. Reviewing the security footage shows these strange orbs of light that happen to be moving by when the items fell off the shelves.
You've got to be.
And then there have been times when I've been in the store by myself at 2 or 3 in the morning, doing the end-of-month inventory, when I'll get a cold shiver up my spine out of nowhere.
Why did I do that?
Of course, the Walmart associates also have their own stories. One of our former employees who went to work for Walmart doing overnight maintenance, shortly after quitting in April 2015 when we were sold to an owner-operator, would report weird ghostly chants deep in the stockroom, where the cleaning supplies are kept, as well as dark shadows. Other associates have confided in me weird encounters they have had with cold breath on their necks, or cold hands and fingers touching them. Sometimes inappropriately. Occasionally, an associate will not heed the stories of what happens here, and will occasionally taunt these entities, and oftentimes have things happen to them that can't be explained. One such associate was found passed out in an aisle in a far corner of the stockroom. Upon reviewing the security footage, it showed the associate appearing to struggle with an invisible object before falling straight to the floor, where they laid 20 minutes before being found. It really goes to show you that no matter how safe and secure a place can be, or how brightly lit it is, there are things lurking around the next corner that cannot be explained in ways that satisfy a sane individual.
Yo.
And number 5, Scary Hospital Story, submitted by Vincent.
Yo, that person that passed
My
out.
mom has been in.
That person that passed out in one of the aisles at Walmart. I lied to you not, hands down, on mommies. I would have either. No, it's no either. I would have seen that, not say shit, and just walk the hell off. And just act like I just didn't see nothing. Let somebody else figure that shit out. I'm not about to, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not, nope. Nah. I'm not doing that. I know shit. Y'all can call me, you can call me a bad person if you want, but I'm not doing that. I'm not. I see a person passed out in one of the aisles out at Walmart. I'm not saying nothing. I'ma act like I didn't see nothing. And I'm going to go ahead about my business. Just saying. I don't got time for this.
In a hospital for more than 40 years now. Back in the day when she just started working in the 70s, something creepy happened at work. Well, a colleague of hers had an old lady pass away on her late night shift. Back then, that was normal, and in that situation, they would bring the passed person to the hospital mortuary, and then wait for a doctor to confirm it later on. But back then, nurses could also confirm that. In fact, on an off night, multiple patients could pass away in a single shift, so most nurses weren't shocked about it anymore. So they did what they had to do, and they brought the lady to the mortuary, sliding her into one of the drawers they put people in. But as the nurse walked away, she swore she heard a slight humming coming from one of the drawers. Not expecting it to be anything, she opened the drawer, and the nurse was shocked to find the lady was still alive in there. Instead of a shocked reaction, the old lady in the drawer calmly asked if she was there to get her out of there. She hadn't passed away, but had been mistaken to have been, and she was severely demented, so she wasn't at all panicked or even slightly worried about being put in the mortuary. But maybe that was for the best, so that she never had to fully realize what almost happened. Because if she hadn't made a sound, she would have been locked in that drawer, and she definitely would have passed away during the night.
Hey.
Working the night shift is a necessary evil. Someone has to do it. Someone has to make sure that the trucks are driven at night and that everything gets stocked.
That's not going to be me.
Someone has to make sure that those truckers who do drive during the night get fed.
That's not me.
There has to be someone in place watching over the security cameras.
Not me.
No one and nothing gets inside.
Not me.
You'd think things would get less creepy if no one had to work the night shift. But without people's eyes watching to make sure nothing creepy gets in, things might just be even more horrifying.
I'm not doing that.
Good night. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to send me your creepy true stories at darknessprevails.org/submit. If you want to support this channel even further, you can download my app Spooked in the description. You can donate to my Patreon at patreon.com/darknessprevails. $1 a month gets your name in the credits. Or go to morbidmonsters.com and get Darkness Prevails merchandise. As usual, here are my 5 favorite early comments from my previous full video about real alien encounters. Cade's Days says, I once visited an alien on the other side of a wall too.
No, you didn't.
An immigration joke. You must be a man of culture as well. Or should I say a man of a different culture. Harley Wood says, I was abducted once. It was out of this world. Go back to your room, Dad. Ek_0 says, I saw an alien in my mirror. How come you don't do the comments anymore, Darkness? That just tells me, Ek_0, that you don't watch the full video. And shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. Cyril Zaya Hubblecat says, your videos are so lovely. That voice ought to swoon the aliens. Actually, Humblecat, my voice is the only thing scaring them away at the moment. And Ashley Dyer says, sometimes I don't mind being probed, but when I do, it's when it's done by aliens.
Probed?
Well, apparently they aren't doing it right then.
What the hell?
Anyway,
what is that?
Thank you all for tuning in for another Darkness Prevails episode.
What?
I hope you enjoyed. Here are the credits to my patrons who continue to donate and support this channel. Until next time, stay safe out there. And stay creepy.
What is probed? What does that mean? Hold on, I got you. Hold on. Probed. We're not gonna. Oh. What does probed mean?
As a noun, it means a blunt-ended surgical instrument used for exploring a wound or part of the body. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
Yes.
As a verb, it means physically explore or examine something with the hands or an instrument.
What? I still don't know what that shit means. A small device, especially an electrode, what? Used for measuring. No, and no. An investigation into no. Right. Physically explore or examine something with the hands. Or oh, that's weird. Okay, no, I just got that. Okay. Oh, wow, that's weird. You're weird. To the person that commented on, she said something about probed, and then she says, I want the aliens to take care. Like what? Oh man, I think I just got what that meant. But hey, shit. The two that really stuck out to me was the father that had the house, and he had like miles of like land or acres, not miles, but he had like a good amount of like space of acres and land. Like, and you next to some woods, yo. Like, what is with y'all? What is with people and being next to some woods? What? No. No, no, no. Stop. Be next to like some stores, a mall, you know, a strip. Be next to a something that's not creepy like the woods. Like, you shouldn't have to open. Don't be in a house or an area where you open up like you open up like your, what is that called? Wow. You open up like the back door of your house. What is that called? Oh, the yard, the backyard, and you open up the door so you can go to the backyard. Don't be one of those people where you open up that door and you see nothing but wood. No. You need to be next to civilization. So when something pop off, you can let people know that something pop off. So stop being so secluded. Did I say that right? I mean, I understand it's okay to be like that, but don't, I mean, to a certain extent, like, just the woods. That woods is a no. Woods is a no for me. And then the McDonald's that was built inside of a Walmart. You might as well call it the wall Donalds. Call it Wall Don. I'm trying to mix Walmart and McDonald's together, so it's like, or Mart, or Wall Mix. Well, I don't know. I'm trying, but yo, man, what the fuck? I never even would have thought of that. Who thought about that, yo? Who thought of that and thought that was a good idea? Two out of like top 5 or top 10 of businesses that attracts creepy, weird people, and you putting them into one building. Who thought of that? Because they should get slapped. Forever. Just nonstop. Just slap. And just keep going. Just saying. What the hell? I can't get over that. That's because you put in McDonald's and a Walmart together. It's like you put in what's another creepy one? It's like you put in Disneyland and I don't know, like, what's another creepy place? It's like you put in Wendy's inside Disneyland, because low key, Wendy's is kind of creepy. I mean, I only go there for the Baconators, and that's it. The Baconators be popping. But shit. I never would have thought of that. McDonald's and a Walmart together. That's crazy. Hey. Hey. If there's any other videos you want me to react to, write comment below or let me know on Twitter or Snapchat, and I'll do my best to get you. I'll do my best to react to that. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.